Yes. Perfect. So this is Holland, and if you don't know who he is, he was Scoop Sanderson at Walt Disney World on Main Street, USA. He was a pen ambassador kind of at the beginning of pen trading and really kind of was in the thick of everything related to pens. So I thought that he would be a great resource for our community and just to learn from him, to get his knowledge on pens and really kind of whatever he wanted to talk about. Uh, and I'm sure he has so much knowledge that this might be a ongoing kind of series that we do, and just have him pop in and give us a talk. Um, we would love for you to kind of have questions during the time, but um like put those in the chat while he's talking. I kind of said like 30 minutes, but he can take as much time as he wants to kind of talk about stuff. And then after he's kind of finished, then we'll be able to have our questions and do all that kind of stuff. So now I am going to ask Chris to come over here. Like I said, I'm not the best at Zoom because like I want to make sure that we get Holland's face up here when he's talking. And so if you don't know, this is Chris. He's my husband. He is the brains behind our website.
Hi, Chris.
Hello, hello.
Oh, good. There you popped up. Um, so just
When Holland talks, he'll pop up.
Yeah, it was really weird. Like other people were
Yeah.
popping up, and so while I was speaking, and I'm like, "What's going on?"
Yeah.
So I just wanted to make sure that we.
Everybody can adjust their individual settings with, I think up on the top right when you touch up there. Uh, you may have, it may be down the bottom left. I don't, but there is a setting where you can do speaker view.
Yes.
And if you do speaker view, and you can also um, spotlight me,
Oh,
Jennifer.
really?
Yeah. And then they won't have a choice.
Oh,
They'll
okay.
have to look at me.
Fantastic. I've just set that up, so thank you. That's
Sure.
definitely a great tip. Like I said, I don't use Zoom very often, so.
If anybody else has any pointers or wants to chime in with something we need to do, I guess do it in chat, right?
Yes. Hmm.
And I will not be looking at chat, Jennifer.
Yeah.
So if questions come along that you want to either jot down
Hmm.
or just I don't, maybe
Hello.
somebody can help her keep in mind. I know Rachel's here and she's extremely helpful,
Good.
and maybe she can help.
Yeah, it takes a village, right?
That's right.
Yeah, I'll be monitoring the chat and kind of making notes of those. So, with that, again, Holland, thank you so much for your time. Everybody tonight, thank you for joining us and take it away.
Um, Thank you so much, Jennifer, and thank you for doing Pen and Pop. We need alternatives to the other databases, and I'm glad you have one for us. And I hear your trade arcade is fantastic too. So I've never done anything like that. Maybe one of these days I can do a trade that way. Do you want to tell everybody a little bit, just real quick, about the trade arcade in case
Yeah,
they?
absolutely. So Trade Arcade is our online trading platform. It is really kind of a in-person event all online. So we take a weekend, Friday through Sunday. We put up our virtual tables, and allow people to put their pins that they have for trade, and then other traders come in and make offers with their pins on there, and then people are able to accept or decline. It's kind of a very fast, frenzy, exciting weekend that we put on. After the event, all the pens are shipped to me, so you only have to ship to one location. We make sure we get the right pen, we authenticate that pen, and then once that process is done, we ship all of those pens back out to everyone.
Don't
So
know how you do it.
it's a lot of love.
I think authentication was kind of what uh, caused you to reach out to me.
Yep.
initially, Jennifer wanted to learn how to identify fake pins. I'd like to identify everybody's primary reason for being here. So, if you want to mute yourself and then mute yourself back, if you want to just tell me you are here to learn how to authenticate pins, and if not, and I've got I can see some people at the bottom here, but there we go. If you want to just tell me if there's something else, because I'm going to go into a couple of other things, but I'm interested to hear anybody looking, who's desperate even for information they're unable or need guidance on with pins.
I've only been trading for about 9 months, so I'm fairly new to it. So I just come in, seeing what kind of information I can get.
Great.
I think I'm on the other end of the spectrum and I've been collecting for probably 20 plus years since before Disney pins were actually a thing. But I feel like I help a lot of people try to authenticate, and there's so much misinformation out there. And I'm sure you hear a lot of it, oh, if a pin's magnetic, or if it has a border, or if it has one post or two nubs, and I really appreciate you doing this. And I feel like there just is so much dangerous misinformation that it's great to kind of see what's out there, and for all of us, no matter how long we've been doing it, to hear from a pro.
Awesome. And anybody else, anything not related to authentication?
Would love to see the pin making process, even though I've seen you show it before.
Well, you will, Benny. Thank you for asking for that. Um, Anybody else, anything?
I'm always concerned that my pins are not authentic just because I don't want to cheat anybody and I don't want to get cheated. And it's even when I hear what people say are real or fakes or show pictures, I still don't get it.
So I'll say, oh, sorry, I'm not used to Zoom all the time either, actually. Hello.
Hi.
Um, I guess for me, well, first off, I just want to say, I mean, I know you know this already, but I'm going to reiterate that a lot of what I've learned is from you from childhood. So I remember like everything. But at the same time, I don't like to assume I know everything, and there's always something that is new that pops up, and I like to be in the loop no matter what, obviously. And there's so many facts that that are important to me, and I just think it's important to go over it again anyway. So whether I think I know it or not, we don't know everything. So yeah, that's me.
Awesome. Um, all right. So I went down a big rabbit hole today, looking at videos on how pins are made. And there's been a lot of new content added since I started this. Um, it's a fascinating process, and it really helps you appreciate your pins a lot. I do want to pose a question, and can you unspotlight me for a second, Jennifer?
Yes.
Please, because I'm not seeing my speaker view. I have it on speaker view,
Right.
but uh,
Yes, I did the spotlight. So hold on, let me
okay.
uh
And thanks for your patience, everybody, as we figured. There we go. Okay,
all right.
now I'm gonna make sure I've got my speaker view. Hello. There we go. And there we go. Speaker view. Okay. I would like to ask Jennifer, did you answer the question when was that you who said you want to know when you're trading that your pin's authentic, or was it somebody else?
I think it was someone else, but
Who was that? Could
I
you?
think it's everybody, if I had to guess.
Okay, there, but I can see you now. Okay, great. Hi, what's your name?
I'm Penny.
Hi, Penny. I'm Holland.
Hi, Holland.
Lots of people call me Scoop. So thank you for letting me zero in on you, Penny.
That's fine.
Penny, I want to ask, and this is a question I want to pose to everybody. What difference does it make if your pin is real?
I think that if you're trading real for real, you kind of want to be, in the same realm as somebody. I think that if you don't know if your pin is real and you trade to someone who they do know, I think I mean, it's just not a good practice.
No,
With
you're right.
with what's happening in the parks and on the boards and how quickly pins are now being faked and all over Disney, it really just it's not just it dilutes I think it dilutes the collectability of it. And you might have a
Absolutely.
pin that's worth a lot, but if it's been faked, people aren't willing to pay that much if they think that it might be faked. So sometimes you have to sort of like, I don't even want to say beg, but like sort of say, these are authentic, I swear. I pulled them out of a
Right.
bag, or whatever. I was in the mall, and there was a Pokemon card collectible thing. So people have to send their Pokemon cards to get them authenticated, and then they could pay, like, if you want it in same day, they pay more money to get it authenticated quicker. And if they get it authenticated, then there's proof that it's a real card. So pins don't have that. So, trying to look at the back of a pin or the front of a pin, or, is it a different color? The problem that I have is sometimes I don't know what the original color is supposed to be. So how am I supposed to know that the purple on Maleficent's bus is wrong or something
Yeah,
like
you
that?
you you can't. Uh, Fortunately, most of the new stuff hasn't been faked yet. Um, and just so you know, there was somebody who was authenticating pins and encapsulating them. And I have an example of that somewhere here. So I went a little nuts when here, I'm going to turn my camera around. All right, can you spotlight? Thank you so much for doing that. You remind me your name again, please.
Penny.
Penny. Thank you, Penny. Could you spotlight me again, Jennifer? Thanks. So I don't know if I can flip my yes, I can. There we go. All right. So this is somebody started trying to authenticate and encapsulate pins, and it was a pretty good effort, I thought. Let me get this up just a little where you can see this. They graded the pin as well, but they did it. It was just really weird to me that anyone would try to grade Disney pins, because one of the things about these is they're all handmade. There are some great videos. I was going to maybe try to share them with you, but I'd like to show you the materials that I have,
Mhm.
and then we'll get back into real versus fake. But so a couple of the examples, I actually have what's called the tool and die for the pins. Most pins are synthetic cloisonne enamel. Um, there are two kinds of material that are more commonly used. I'm going to show you real cloisonne because this was the first. This is how pins were made for generations. It's also how the ancient art form of cloisonne that was in the Asia for centuries. I think it's something like 600-700 years old. Um, it this cloisonne is silica, which is ground glass or powdered glass, and it can only be manufactured in 100 colors or so because it's colored with minerals. Let me see if I haven't lost that piece of paper. Here we go. So I'm just going to show it to you. these are the the elements that make the different colors. And gold is used to make reds and pinks and purples. And then I have some examples of the powders and the way they fill these voids. And I'm gonna go backwards, but just this is real eye-catching, and I think it really. I tried to take this on there, not much luck. I just think when you see the progression of this. Now, this is 25 years old. I was doing this back on Main Street. They let me have the back of the exposition hall back when they showed the short films back there. The silly symphonies. Uh, so this is cloisonne. That the powder is mixed with distilled water and deposited with a sable hairbrush. And I just say all that from memory because I was saying it for years back, starting in 26 years ago. And they deposit the material into the void. Uh-oh. Can somebody mute? Can everybody check you're muted,
There we go.
please?
I got it.
Thank you. They deposit it into the little voids. Now, this material is like glass, so it melts at high temperatures, just like a glass blower. So, sorry, hold on. I think it's fired at something like 600 degrees or something. Anyway, it has to be hot enough to melt glass because that's essentially what this is. And I'll show you some of the different colors here. None of which I see in this Tigger. I ordered a sampler from the people who still make this material. And so there's like a flesh color. And that might be close to that one right there in his face and belly. That might be the color they use for Mickey. I'm going to show you a lot of examples of side by side tonight. There's the orange. That looks pretty close. When you look at real cloisonne, it's very granular, even in this finished one right here. The only thing that's not finished about this Tigger is he's not plated yet. But because it's glass, it's super hard. And it has to be stoned, ground with a circular grinding stone. And as they grind cloisonne pins, the wheel goes like this across the surface, and as it does, it causes the pin to bow. Now, since this is stamped from a copper ingot, it's thick, and the edges are square. Pins are not made like this anymore. Very rarely. I think there are manufacturers still doing it. I want to get some pins made in real cloisonne. I've started making some pins, just little promotional pins like a scoop pin. And I'm not sure that they're still doing it. So we're going to take a step back and we're going to look at a non-Disney pin that I have the whole process for, what's called a progression now. When I got these materials, they were given to me by I don't know who anymore, but they were called the process when I got them, and now people call them progression. Where'd I put my little mermaid? Oh, she's over there. She is. Nope, wrong. Um, oh, here she is. All right, so I want to show you the first materials I got, and I wish I knew from whom. But this is I learned early on how they're made because I had to know. I was just so curious, especially when I found out there were cloisonne and synthetic. So this is what whoever showed me gave me. This was a little aerial charm, and they stamp an impression into an ingot, and then I guess they cut this one down before they punched it out. And then here's what got punched out of there. And that is then filled. I don't have the final charm. I hope to find it one day. But the second one I got is this one. And it's real cloisonne. That is the final coloring step of her. And then the grinding down back to the copper. And then polishing, still copper, and then plating. So plating was the last step. And what plating is, it's an electromagnetic process where current flows through they string the pins up on wires and they lower them into a vat with first nickel nuggets and then gold nugget. And it as the current flows through, it binds to the exposed metal. All right, I'm going to show you this progression, we're going to call it now, of this bus pin. I kind of had to scoop everything up because I got out of control. Sorry. All right, so this is the only one I have the actual tool and die for. So starts out as, oh, here it is. Starts out as a strip of copper that's fed through a machine that has a couple of 100 tons of pressure and uses this hardened steel die to stamp that impression into that ingot of copper, kind of like a coin is minted. And these are called the registration, I guess, dots or something. And that is so that it can line up with the punch. And this punch is like a hole punch in the shape of a bus that has a couple of 100 tons of pressure. So you see where the two dots line up with these holes, and that's how they line it up with the punch. And then this guy punches it out. They don't really do this anymore. I think everything is cast in a rubber mold. When pins get loose on the back, it's because they are molded into the pin. There is a great couple of videos that I'm not going to try to show, but I do want to just show you how. Where did I put the punch? Hello. I want to show you how, oh, there it is, how this perfectly fits right there. And that's what gets punched through. And then it's filled. And this is regular epoxy enamel that everything is colored with now. The difference in the epoxy and the cloisonne is the epoxy is cured. And so it's fired, but not nearly as hot. And the temperatures aren't as extreme. So the difference in a cloisonne pin and an epoxy pin is also the thickness of the lines. Because the lines in the cloisonne have to be heavier to withstand the higher temperatures, or they would just melt away. So that's a big reason they started going to the epoxy enamel. It's cheaper. You will find, I've got some videos that we can, maybe I could put those in the chat, or maybe, Jennifer, can you put those videos in the chat for people to access?
Did you send them to me?
I did, and if I mean we can put them on your website or something, but
Yeah.
they are. I found some really great links to relatively concise manufacturing videos. Everything used to be squirted in by hand with a syringe and a really fine, almost needle-like tip, one color at a time. They're squirted in, and the same with the cloisonne, one color at a time. They're squirted in, fired, then the next color is squirted in, then fired. They have to fire it after every step so that they don't blend. Here's a great example. And this was a fairly lengthy process and included a pin on pin. So I always like showing this one. And then this pin is attached with riveting on the back. They used to do build-a-pins in the parks at the different pin locations. And it looks like a drill press, the thing that puts that little piece on. Um, I'm not really seeing what I did with it. The plating I'll track it down, Jay. The plating process is the last thing that happens. And as I said, the exposed metal gets plated, and where the enamel is doesn't. Now, what you're going to see in the videos is that the plating is done first. And I think that's what's going on here. So uh, this is soft enamel. Soft enamel just refers to a thin layer of enamel that's paint. Epoxy enamel is thick and fills the void completely. None of these have completely filled voids, but they do have interesting plating I wanted to show you. So the silver plate, I think this is more of a matte silver or platinum. And then they can plate in different colors. So it's a powder coating, like cars, they use on cars. That's also electromechanical or electromagnetic way of adhering it to the metal. So here's my awesome scoop pin that I got them finally after I'd been using these other materials from my friend who worked at International Buses. They finally did a pin for me where I could show everybody the final result and the whole process or progression. So you can kind of tell that material was squirted in there. It's like an Elmer's glue consistency, this epoxy enamel. So they squirt it in. You got a thick layer of enamel there. They don't have to be precise, as you can see, because they're going to sand it down and then stone it down, really grind it down so that the metal outlines are exposed again. And then they polish it. Now it's all shiny compared to that one. And then they clean it and they plate it. So the plating is the last thing that would happen. I had this made so that I could, laser engraving is the back. This is the back stamp for my pen. And the blank is where they laser engraved the individual number into it of 70. So let's look at this guy. That's engraving. And then this, what's he got on the back? I think this might be number 1. Yeah, that's pin number 1. So the tack is super glued on before they plate it. That's the last thing they do before they plate it. They super glue it on. They might solder it. I have seen videos where it was soldered on, but as I understood from the people I talked to back then, and it's been a very long time, They just put a dot of super glue on it, got it on there. What holds it on is the plating because it fuses it. Let me flip that back down. It fuses it to the copper. I have one other fun example I can show you, and then I'm going to show you some of the cloisonne synthetic side by side. They transitioned right when they started the millennium celebration. So there's your ingot, and I started demonstrating how they were colored by filling in a couple of the voids there. This is technically the art term for this. Fascinating fact nobody cares about is champ-levé. Champ-levé, it's a French term that means level field. And what they do when they fill it up with the enamel is level that field. And they do it one at a time, firing it after every color. And then you're going to see the 2001 revealed there that we saw before. The grinding reveals that again. And then the last
Are
step.
you on the whatnot? Who you on?
Is who on the whatnot? Who is that? Hello?
Go ahead, Holland. Someone just didn't
Okay.
have mute on.
Oh,
So.
okay. All right. So any questions so far?
Yeah,
Jennifer?
we do. We have a few questions actually.
All right.
So someone wanted to know if all cloisonne pins are made by hand. I think in regards to kind of like the filling of the glass and stuff like that.
They were. They are not now.
Okay.
How come?
No, I said I said okay.
Oh, I thought you said okay. Yeah, they aren't because of the expense and because it's glass, if you drop a cloisonne pin, it will chip and crack and break just like glass. And nobody wants that, right? So
his foot was outside. The entire rest of his body was outside.
Sorry.
what?
That someone just keeps popping in without muting their stuff. So
Okay. All right.
Fine. Keep going.
All right. I'm trying to pull over some examples of some things here. Just give me a second. Oh boy, it doesn't take me long to lose stuff. I guess I.
Well, that happens to the best of us.
Oh, I found it. Okay, so I just wanted to before I moved on. I remember now. I had to glue these onto the back because I lost that one. So here is that little charm that goes onto. Now I think this was molded, and I think in fact I think this pin was molded. Let's have a look. And the way you can tell is molded pins. Oh my God, I just broke that. Molded pins, they have, so that feels like copper though. Yeah, that's not molded. All right, so, but the little charm that I just broke, well, it's a good example now.
That's right. Just how fragile they actually are.
Yeah. So anyway, you can see here. This is they use zinc alloy when they mold the pins, and how it's made has a great video on it, and it's a vulcanized rubber mold that they pour into it. This one also has broken, and so I glued that back together. But they can plate them, and they do, and so there's the difference. But they're much lighter weight. So
someone asked, they said, what happens during the plating process and what actually causes paint dipping?
So the dipping is the grinding.
Okay.
And let's just look at some. I I get so out of control, Jennifer. I just start pulling out everything because I want to show you everything that you can't find anywhere except for me.
Right.
But I want to show you some fake pens. And I want to ask you, I know I asked you what difference does it make if your pen is fake? So when Disney does not acknowledge that there are fake pens, at least officially and at any level higher than a regular frontline cast member. They are anybody who is on the pin team is told not to acknowledge that they're fakes. The only way to get a guaranteed authentic, what was the question you hope to get?
Oh, someone wanted to know like how long they made the cloisonne pens, and I was like, I have the same question. Like when
They
did
transitioned
mm-hmm,
around 2002 to everything synthetic. When pen trading first started in 99, October of 99,
mm-hmm,
um, it was only, well, pen trading was only going to be for the Millennium Celebration.
right.
Um, it was so popular, they made so much money that they made it what they call a Disney tradition.
Right.
So they had to start cranking them out, and they
Hmm.
cranked out a pin about new pin about every 15 minutes.
Right.
Um,
Interesting.
so here's one from California. Looks pretty good. Back then, their fakes looked really good. She's got a little dipping there. She may have been a scrapper. Scrapper refers to the ones that are poor quality and they don't feel like they can uh, send to Disney. Now, this was back when these are the original Hidden Mickeys and Cast Lanyard. Back then, they didn't sell these in packets. The whole point of it was the only way to get it was on a Cast Lanyard.
Right.
Um, the fakes started coming out because since they weren't sold, Disney couldn't claim any lost revenue by fakes being made. So there was really no way to enforce their copyright. And apparently consumer products, and I don't, this is just something I actually saw a letter. It could be fake, I don't know, but consumer products are the non-park merchandise that are sold in retail stores, and they were allowed to do whatever they wanted. The manufacturers couldn't sell to the American market, but they could sell to other jobbers or people in China who
Right.
could sell to the American market without violating that. So that's why we started getting so many fakes. And as you can see, this is a pretty good one. It could be real. I don't know. I was not in California.
Right.
But I did have friends there who were reliable and would provide me with real ones.
Mhm.
And this was back, well, the same manufacturers, Carla, that made the pins were making them there, or they could sell it to the manufacturer down the street. I mean, nobody really knows. Um, this is I can show you a million of these.
Right.
The lines are kind of blurry. It's a dull finish. Um, it's the dips in this are ridiculous. This is when they just stopped caring
And so
what the
does the dipping like is that like during the plating process that happens
no,
or
it
it's
is when
just
they fill it and they just don't fill it completely. They just
okay.
fill it enough to
Right.
it's almost like a soft enamel fill.
Mhm.
Um, but they just fill it enough to cover the metal surface. The hidden Mickeys are a great tell. They're
Mhm.
not shiny.
Right.
Now hers is shiny.
Yeah.
and small. These had really small ones, so the later fakes had bigger hidden Mickeys. See
Right.
how tiny that is?
Yeah.
That looks right, but with all that dipping, it's hard to know. Now I mean, here's my point. Um, if you see 1 million of this pin on eBay, then chances are it's fake because the real ones weren't around. They're going into collections.
Right.
If you see the whole set of this, probably a better chance it's real. But if they were trying to put them together after the fact, they, just got their hands on whatever they could. Um, I think a lot of you probably know about um, the Mickeys on the backs not not falling off the edge. They call it bleeding over the edge.
Right.
So this pin, the Mickey is fully bleeding over the edge. There's no border. I don't think this was ever a real pin. I don't think they ever actually retailed this pin. Here is here's one that does not bleed over. Has a little border. Let's see if I think. Hold on, am I imagining? Yeah. So there it is. Right at the bottom edge, you can see that it doesn't bleed over. It has a little border there.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned with the cloisonne pens that they had to have thicker lines in them. And is that kind of like a standard tell with those pens is
There are no tells for cloisonne. Cloisonne are all real.
okay, so that's really the like from about 1999 when they started for the countdown to the millennium to about 2002, like they were strictly cloisonne um
Well,
pens.
they're not all of them.
Okay.
They were starting to introduce synthetic,
Okay.
but the vast majority already were cloisonne because you got to think about it. We didn't have the kind of detail we have today.
Right.
We didn't have these back then.
Right, yeah.
Look at all that detail. That can't be done by hand.
Right, yes.
And it's not little outlines being filled with enamel, no matter how detailed. I mean, that's all fully detailed. All the eyes back then, like Pooh's eyes, were
Mhm.
gold because they were part of the or not part of a recess. They were the voids were stamped around them, and so they weren't filled, right? And they
Mhm.
and they in the right light when they're in shadow, they look right. When light is shining on them, they're gold. See,
Mhm.
they're plated. So
Interesting.
that was exposed metal that got plated. Now all that detail, all the eyes are laser printed on. Her lips, the detail on her dress, the lanterns, everything is in this moire fade, which I really love.
The
You
problem
know,
that we're having a little bit is that people are noticing that there's quality issues, and that's where some people are like, is it real, is it fake? Because
right.
they're noticing that it's a real pin that they
Yep.
maybe got from the park, but the quality is just not good. Like,
Yeah.
especially some of the princesses, their eyes are not good, their lips are not
Yeah.
good. So
Yep.
therein lies another problem.
Yep. The Heffalumps eyebrows just flaked off. I actually had one flake off in my hand. I can show an example of that if anybody wants to see it. But I get long-winded. I am blah 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 blah. So I don't want to. I just I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be able to talk about this and show examples of stuff. So let me just talk about. So here's a bunch of fake pins. My point with fake pins is just if you don't know, then don't collect it. If and make friends, to build relationships with your trading. Um, every time I do a trade with somebody, And I do want to talk about that a little bit, but let me just finish up kind of with the fakes here. These are being sold at the gift shops around Disney now. And I actually pulled some real ones so I could show side by side. So let me do that real quick. This is here. I want to show you here. Let me do this. So this is my little Pinfolio thing. I like GoPen Pro, but the other ones are great too. This is what I carry when I go to pin pickups on Tuesday, which I swore I would stop doing at the end of 25, and I've only gone like 10 times this year. Maybe less. But if I'm gonna do it, I want to trade while I'm waiting 3 hours in line. So I bring this and I try to make it look as inviting as I can. And I wear a lanyard. So let's pluck out a couple of these real quick that are on that same card here. We got this. If anybody wants to tell everybody what wave this is, I forget. This is Disney World, I think wave A.
Yeah, I think it might be Wave A for 2025 as well. I'm not.
I don't have the chaser, but there's a fake of the chaser. I've traded it away. So now I just trade to trade. I'm relationship building when I go out and trade in the parks. And because I want people who care about their reputation. I want to trade with them. I want to trade with people who might be able to cover me if I can't make a pin drop, right?
Mm-hmm.
These are sold in gift shops. Fakes like these are sold online. And I've never intentionally bought or traded for a fake. Well, I have intentionally. If a kid has a fake pin and wants to trade, I will take their fake pin. And that's how I have all these.
Interesting.
And I don't know if they got them off another lanyard. I don't know if a desperate mom had to buy 50 pins for $100 or 100 pins for $50 on eBay so that her kids could trade because she can't afford an $8 pin times 100 for each kid. But these are the only current fakes I know about. I think there are more already. But a good way to know if a pin is a fake is if you see it on this card. If you see 1 million of them on eBay, now there are 1 million of this pin, this good one on eBay because everybody's got it now. When they first come out, they're a $10, $20, $30 pin. And the reason is everybody has FOMO, fear of missing out, and they want to get the pin while they can in case something happens, in case it turns hot, in case Disney pulls it. Disney pulls releases all the time. I had an example of that I could show you. This fake was in a event piece that was the 626 event. It should say limited edition something on the back. It should not be a smooth back. It's just got that little copyright on there. Now, it is a copper-based pin, and it's heavy. Copper-based pins are heavy, and they're cold. But the enamel is lifting on this.
Interesting. Yeah. So
So
someone did have a question about like how many pins are the copper base? Is it just the cloisonne pins, or did Disney continue
no, the
that?
old synthetic were.
Yeah.
This is synthetic,
Mm-hmm.
and it's copper based. That color metal is copper based. That
Yeah.
40 I showed you, that
Mhm.
silver 40, and let me just show you. Let me see if I can get it lit over here. So this is the only progression I have. If anybody ever wants to trade a progression, I'd be so delighted to have. Well, actually, a profile progression.
Well,
So you see that?
mm-hmm.
That's zinc alloy.
Okay. So
Super
this,
lightweight. You
mm-hmm.
could break that 5 right off there
Oh, wow.
with your bare hand. Copper, you can't do that.
Interesting.
Can I give you just to take a break? Can I give you a quick tour of my room?
I think people would be interested. We had a request for a home tour earlier.
I made a video. It's on my Facebook.
Oh, nice.
I accept anybody who looks like they're a Disney nut like myself. I will accept your friend request. Okay, so let me just first show you this guy. When I first got to Main Street, what time is it? Oh, I
It's
may.
8.
It's 8 already?
Well, almost. It's 5 till
Oh
8.
my, I mean 9 my time. All
Yeah.
right. All right. I when I first got to Main Street, this was in the art gallery there, and I couldn't afford it.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
It's called an animated cell.
Oh, wow.
It's one of 10,000.
They certainly made a lot of them.
They did. And a lot of them don't work anymore.
Oh, wow.
There's Yensid up in the top left.
Wow.
They're very cool. But now when they're making pins and they're only making 150 or 300 or even 500, they're so much more rare and difficult. And,
Totally.
I suppose that piece is probably something that people just are never going to give up unless they're like, they pass away and their family's like, I don't want this anymore. That might be the only way to get something like that at this
And that's
point.
happening a lot, especially with people who collected back during the Millennium celebration.
What are
I
you
don't know if
saying?
you,
Are we getting old? What does that mean? I'm confused.
Surely not. Surely not. No, no, no.
I just want to show you the electric light parade. Okay, so while I do that, let me just take a quick spin around the room. There's this was from 2000. It is an artist proof. You can see down there on the bottom line there.
Wow.
I don't think these pins are artist proofs. APs on the back of artist proofs only started showing up. They started adding them around, I think, '05 or something, because there was no way to tell unless you got it from Disney with a COA. So let's go over here.
Yeah, while
So
you're doing your tour, we had another question pop up that
okay,
asked, like, why, in your opinion, do you not think that kind of these older cloisonne copper pins aren't as like highly sought after or as valuable as like kind of the new ones? Like for me, I see a lot of the countdown to the new millennium pins traded. Um, but yeah, it's just not
so
a whole lot of
because nobody
excitement for them.
cares.
Okay.
Nobody cares. We could change that 50 people in a Zoom at a time, possibly. Sure would be nice. This is one of the earliest actual progressions that was released at the Animal Kingdom event in I think it was, let's see if we can see. Yep, '02. And it is number 8 of 12. There is
Hey,
there's
Scoot,
yeah.
I just got 3 of these little guys. I think they're from the 80s.
Hold on. Unspotlight me.
Oh yeah, okay. That's right. He can't see you. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
There we are.
What you got there, Penny?
So,
Oh yeah. So that's another process. Yeah.
You have to talk again, Penny, so you get put on.
oh, I was just saying, I just got 3 of these, and I think they're from the mid 80s. So,
They are.
you know, there's definitely people who love the vintage and don't love the new stuff, and they love this enamel versus,
So
but
that's actually a domed enamel, acid etched domed enamel. I did bring an example of that. Let me just show you the electric light parade before I get back to it. Okay. Oh, and I want to show you my jars.
yay!
Spotlight me again, will you?
Okay. There we are.
All right. So there are the jars
Wow,
all
those are
together.
cool.
Wowza, that's
And,
amazing.
and you know, no jar was over $100, maybe 200 tops. And then I started bringing this to shows, and I think people started saying, "Okay, I get it now." I didn't get it when I first saw them. When I first saw the princess dresses, I don't collect princesses. I certainly didn't want to collect this. And then I met Meriwether, and Meriwether's cool enameling, and it's actually transparent. What you're seeing is the metal in the back of the pin. The colors in her really, I can't capture it, I don't think, on video, but I just started falling in love with all the different colors. And then Cinderella's so 60s or 50s or whatever, that blue that I
You just need to be
remember.
independently wealthy to get the jars, though, you know. Poor
Well,
poor people like me.
I was able to put 3 sets together, and I made a good profit on the 2 that I got rid of, and I'm
I
working
bet
on
you
a
did.
third now. Even though all these princesses, Aurora too, just that killer 60s pink, nostalgic for me, not for everybody, but for me. Um, so I'm working on this is my keeper set, and I'm working on another one just to have off the card. These are actual pins that come together to make a puzzle. This is
Cool.
lithograph. When something is printed, it's a lithograph. Like a magazine is printed, only it's printed onto a white enamel surface. Um, I love these sculpts. That's a limited edition, 25 of the Broadway show. Since I'm an actor, I love the Broadway show. Okay, let me just show you the black light ones real quick, please. These little dots. Hold on, I got to turn this off. Okay. The little dots.
Oh wow, they glow. Nice.
Yeah.
Those are beautiful.
Now, they couldn't do that with enamel back in the day. Somebody would have had to dot by dot apply that enamel. Now it's done with robots, and that's how all the pins are colored now with robots. And when I send you those videos, you'll be able to see that robots are doing the fill now, but they were done by hand for years. Every pin. And that's what, to me, made pins so special. They were little handmade works of art. Um, do you have any questions about these fakes?
I don't think so. I don't think anybody really popped in there with any questions about the fakes.
The difference in the new ones and the fakes is where did I put? Yeah, doesn't take any time to lose anything. What I was trying to show you with this one is the fakes are smooth.
Mm-hmm.
These are laser printed on and have a little bit of depth with all the graphics on them. All right, so I don't want to make everybody crazy. I want to show you just one more example of something really cool. And if I can put my hands on a couple of cloisonne synthetic side by side, I wanted to do that. Just to kind of give you an idea. All right, here we go. Here's a couple. Oh, there's that first one. Yay. I found the missing guy that goes on that
Oh, nice.
thing. All right, so here is the cloisonne version of this Y2K Halloween pin. And here is the final. So cloisonne, they can only make in 100 colors. They can make synthetic in any color and can exactly match the Pantone shades. That's the name of the different grading of the different colors that all manufacturers use for consistency. But look at the detail in his face. Look how much more detailed he is in the synthetic than the cloisonne.
Hmm.
It's the heavier lines.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Here's so whenever you see Mickey with a tan face, it's either cloisonne or meant to resemble an original pen that was originally cloisonne. Did I lose her already? All right, I don't know what I did with her. She was right here. Promise. It happens so fast with all the pins I have. So here's the ones where I first realized that there was a difference. They released this in real cloisonne.
Mm-hmm.
And then they did it in synthetic.
Mm-hmm. So
And
someone asked how, like, what are the tells between those two that you can tell, like one's cloisonne and one's synthetic? Like you mentioned colors already. You
so see,
mentioned
Mickey's face is pink
okay.
in the real cloisonne, and
Mm-hmm.
in the synthetic, I mean in the synthetic it's pink, in the real cloisonne it's tan.
Okay.
Because the only other pink they have is that really pink like that.
Right. Right. We don't want Mickey's face to be that color.
Well, they it was for years. I mean, they didn't care for a very long time, but there was nothing to care about. You
Right.
know, there was no possibility. Here she is. There she is. Okay, there's your cloisonne and synthetic.
Oh, interesting. Oh, yeah. Okay. Huh.
Now she's got a little dip there, but that's from grinding down the enamel smooth again. Is anybody left here, Jennifer?
Yeah, but I think we should probably wrap it up. It's
All
like
right.
8:07.
All right.
Definitely would love to have another night where we kind of talk about stuff, and kind of hit these things. And now that you guys kind of know, um, what the night will be like, it kind of gives you an idea of, hey, if you guys have ideas about what we want to talk about, if you have questions, all those kinds of things. Um, like it's a great
You
a
can
great night
friend
to kind
me.
of ask those and come and join us and just talk about pins. Definitely, yeah, reach out and friend Holland and post all your pictures of your pins and ask him if they're cloisonne or not. And yeah, so we'll kind of do these and we'll have some other people I think on that have knowledge about other pens. Like there's just so many that we have questions about. I was just talking to someone the other day about, the DSSH pens and there are cat brooms and how do you tell the difference if the real ones, the fake ones, like all of that kind of stuff. And I think this is just really great knowledge for the community at large. to have so that we can all just help each other out to know if we have real pins or fake pins, just so we know and can appreciate them in that context. So if you didn't see, Joey M was our winner tonight. He wins
Yay!
our fun prize of a mystery bag of pins.
Do we get to see what's in it?
No, it's for Joey to be surprised
Okay.
by. And
Oh, right.
I can't believe it. I'm excited.
so he'll have,
Congratulations,
you.
Joey.
yeah, he'll
Thank
have
you.
to get on our Facebook page and put what he actually got in there. So
I'll
they're
definitely do that when I get it.
wonderful.
Jen, what's the Facebook page again? I'm sorry.
So it is Pen and Pop Events. I will put it in the link. It is a Facebook page that you have to join. But Joey, if you want to put it to our main business page, which is Pen and Pop Trading, you can do that too, and not join our event page. I just usually put more communication in the event page than I do on my business page.
Would you like me to do it to both? I don't mind.
Oh yeah, I would appreciate that for sure. So yeah. Um, so if you know someone that has like a lot of knowledge about pins and would like to come on here, we'll have Holland back again for him to share some more stuff and
I collect
ho-
very.
hopefully share some stories about him being Scoop on Main Street as well. Yeah, it was a fun night and I appreciate everyone joining us. So
I wanna leave you with what I always called my golden rule of pin trading when I was on Main Street, and that is trade unto others as you would have others trade unto you.
that is a great ending for sure. Very good. I will stop